not going to slip anything over when I'm kicking.
No, absolutely not. This is kind of, you picking this up? Or you
Yep,
like?
go ahead. I'm fine, yeah, you're very good.
Okay, we're in Dean's today, speaking with Fannie and Ethel, and they're just going to talk about their memories of South Brunswick and Dean's. I'm sure they have a lot to share with us. So Fannie, you want to start? You're the oldest?
Yeah.
Oldest living, or
yeah.
oldest of the whole family?
Yeah. Well, my store's 92, I'm 91.
God bless you. Okay. And then what are your earliest memories?
When I went to school, I walked about 1.5 miles from the railroad track there. And there was 2 rooms schoolhouse for each class, I mean 4 grades, 2 rooms, 4 grades. And we used to carry the water from the baker's farm, and we used to have no furnace. We had the coal stove, right? And the teachers took care of that.
At the school?
Yeah.
Do you remember your teacher?
Yeah, Mr. Tioun.
Mr. Tioun?
And Miss Goodchild.
Mrs. Tioun.
Yeah, Miss, what was Miss?
Now, you were born in which year?
1905.
1905. Okay. So that's what was going on in the school, and that was, where was that located in Dean's at the time?
You know what, the nursery home, the nursery place there, that's still trees.
At the point at the Baker Farm?
Yeah, Baker Farm.
Crossroads Nursery.
That's where we used to get the water.
That's where you got the water for the whole house?
Yes, school.
And you carried it in your...
Everybody had train to carry
Did you
water.
get your milk there too?
No, we didn't get, we had our own milk.
Had
our
your own
cow.
You had your own cow?
Yeah.
And chickens?
Yeah, pigs.
Pigs?
Yeah, that's what we had. And then after that, I don't know, bakers had farm too. They had the cows. They used to bring across the street. They owned all that field for the factories built.
Right, where Herman Forwarding is? That was the Baker Farm also?
Yeah. They sold all that.
And
Jersey
that was
paper.
And was Route 130 a busy highway at that time?
Yeah,
or was that dirt then?
They built a new road there. That's where Margaret lives in Dutch.
Right.
And this road here.
Yes, they built.
New road.
This is old Route 130, which is now George's
Road.
Road.
George's Road.
Right. Oh, they called
Old George's Road.
Old George's Road,
Yeah.
right.
This road was a busy road before that built the other road.
Yes.
It was very bad.
Yes, I remember
My
that.
brother got killed this road. My brother Tony.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, my mother was saying she wasn't sure if it was one brother or 2 brothers that were in the accident.
Yes, your aunt took care of my brother Johnny and your uncle.
My brother Tony, the oldest, got killed over here down on George's Road. And my brother Johnny, the younger one,
16.
He got killed on the highway 1 by the Splitters garage there.
And Dan Curran, my brother Dutch, and my brother John was all together. They all got hurt bad. Thank God that Dutch and Dan was pretty good. But Johnny got killed. It was pinned to the motor. Your aunt and your uncle happened to see him.
That's what my mother was saying, yeah.
Who was that?
I'm trying to remember. I guess it must have been Aunt
Jenny.
Marie. Or Aunt Jenny. Aunt Jenny, right. She was married to Frank Spilberg.
Took my brother to the hospital, full of blood. She took care of him. She had him in the lap. And my father went to the hospital. Had to rush them over there.
And where was the hospital?
Yeah.
Which hospital?
Middlesex.
Middlesex.
Well, no, I don't know what they call them now. Johnson.
Yeah, it's
Robert Wood Johnson.
Yes.
You don't want to know that.
Yes, sure. Everything is history. Everything is history. It's important for families to remember this.
I was there when he died. My father and I, my cousin. My mother just left before he died. When she come back, he was gone, My brother Jimmy was there, my sister-in-law.
Now, how many brothers and sisters did you have?
I had 8 brothers. We were 5 sisters. But one died in Italy. She was 2 weeks old. My mother lost her when she was first born.
And when did your parents come from Italy?
From this country?
Yes.
Well, I don't know. My father was 19, my mother was 18. I don't know the years of that.
I had their papers.
You got the paper?
Oh, they came together?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were married when they came here.
Yeah.
They were married.
I don't know how many years of that.
How did they get to South Brunswick?
Well, my mother lived in, and then she moved here, lived in the old house. My aunt Uncle lived the
Mom's
other end.
sister
Mother's sister.
lived out here.
Oh, she knew somebody that lived in the
Yeah, oh,
area.
yeah.
Mhm.
They came here, yeah.
They followed other family members
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
Mhm.
When they came here on the boat, I know something happened to the boat. Somebody got sick or something, they couldn't land here right away.
Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, Thanksgiving.
Mhm.
Didn't stay in the
Oh.
boat for a while.
Did they?
Land right away.
Well, there are a lot of people who were ill on the boats,
Oh, yeah.
and outbreaks of
Yeah,
disease.
and then that was the end of that.
Mhm.
But when I used
Is
to
it
go,
all right, I move?
Sure. Yeah. No problem.
So we go back to school, and you finished school, Dean school.
school, then when I went to Dayton,
Which grade did you do in
it was,
Dayton?
it was 7th and 8th were together like, 7, 8.
It kind of sounds just like it is now with the
Oh,
split
yeah?
split grades.
The old schoolhouse, that was the old one. And Dean School, they built here after so many years, they built all here. Well, I don't know what, 64 years we lived here. The school was that built, the school wasn't built yet? No. I don't think so.
Now,
I don't know if
who was your teachers in
well, Dayton was Miss Green,
Green?
Miss Green. I don't even know her. Dowgan's wife, Frank Dowgan.
Frank Dowgan's wife?
Yeah.
Any other old names in South Brunswick? They were teachers?
The Dean School there,
Dean's and Dayton.
well, just
The
Dayton.
school that you went to while you were going to school.
Dayton was the last.
Whatever.
The teachers there were,
Miss Weaver, Miss Green, Frank's wife,
okay,
Mrs. Frank.
Mrs. Frank Dowgan.
Yeah. Well, then, I didn't graduate at all, but just
Now, all your
Yeah,
brothers
yeah.
and sisters went to those two schools?
Jimmy went to that school and Dutch, and me. No others.
Where did Rosie go?
Wasn't go, she go to Dayton school.
Oh.
She left.
Oh, my mother and father came, and my mother and father was married February the 22nd, 1897. And you don't want their birthday.
What town?
Yeah, sure.
From Italy did they come from?
Pretends.
Pretends.
Bellowana.
And they came to America November the 27th, 1899.
My oldest brother was born in Italy, though. Tony was born in Italy. He was 6 months old when he came here. The rest were all born here.
written somewhere.
And when I used to work in Brunswick,
You
I used
worked
to
in
walk,
Brunswick?
I used to train, we had station Deans,
Yes?
and I used to walk all that mile to the station from the old track. We used to walk on the railroad track.
The old tracks were east,
Deans,
By the Dean's Pond there.
Dean's
okay, okay.
to the Dean station. My sisters and my brother, we all went by train. There was no car them days. It was only horse and buggy.
And then we walked to church.
You walked to church.
All the kids, all of us.
Do you
my
remember
father.
going to the church in the barn?
No, I don't remember that, but
Oh,
I
you
heard
don't?
talk about it. My father and mother always said. Kachina, thing, the place over there.
Right, now, was that when they lived up in the hill?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Back where the municipal building is now?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And they had a barn, and that's where
Yeah.
St. Cecilia's used to have
Yeah.
their masses.
Yeah, that's what they
And
said.
the priest used to come from Jamesburg, correct?
Father Sullivan,
Father
I
Sullivan,
remember him.
remember him?
Yeah,
I
he
guess
said-
everyone remembers him.
Yeah, oh, he was nice. He married my sister Mary, my brother Tony,
And where did you work in New Brunswick?
needle factory,
The needle factory,
Somerset Street.
Somerset Street.
Yeah. I was 18 years old when I started to work there.
And then you walked on the railroad tracks.
Then I
to the
walked a mile
station.
from Brunswick, where I, the factory. It was about 2 miles every day, morning and night. Cold weather, used to travel.
Any of your neighbors work at the needle factory?
Lyndon Ryan,
Aunt Linda worked there?
she worked with me. I think Mary Brabson too, I think.
Well, my mother went to Brunswick High School.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, New Brunswick High School.
She worked there.
Mary Brabson would be my mother. May.
No, there's another Brabson.
Oh, Mary
Murphy.
Murphy.
Oh, yeah, that's what
Mary
it was.
Yeah.
No, it was. I saw Lyndon Mary. what I know.
But you, it was only you walked
Linda and I walked together to get the train.
from New Brunswick,
Yeah.
not
Now,
from...
where did Linda live then?
To Monmouth Junction. To get the train to Monmouth Junction. Well, that's all. I remember that.
And your dad worked in the railroad,
Yeah, he worked the railroad
and he
quite a while.
was like foreman of Dean's.
Yeah.
So I remember my grandfather talking about
Yeah,
that.
because
Yeah.
Mr. Curran too.
Mr. Curran,
He was my father's boss too, and grandfather.
Then my
Pop
fa-
Ryan.
Yeah. My brother Tony worked on the railroad track. My brother Pat, the Jimmy and them, they were when they were young kids. They were water boy. They used
Yes.
to work on the railroad.
Uh-huh.
That's all I remember now.
And Joe worked on the railroad. He
Yeah.
retired from
Oh,
the
yeah,
railroad, right?
yeah.
Nick
Yeah.
did too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Johnny?
Yeah.
Joe retired, and which other one retired from the railroad?
My father got hurt on the railroad.
Did he?
Yeah, bad.
2 legs broken.
You're by a train, or?
Yeah.
Engine is Cinder Hill. What do you call it?
Cinder?
The engine, you know, the wheel.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Cylinders?
Yes.
Hit him right in the leg. It broke 2 legs.
You came off the train? Do you remember the train wrecks?
Oh, Dean's here. We weren't living there then. We lived here when we heard it. And my father was really bad with a broken leg. He was in the hospital quite a while. He had crutches to walk. And then he lost his job.
Did he?
They didn't want to take him no more. I don't know what happened. He had a case on it. That was that. He didn't work no more.
Well, would he have been able to, with his bad legs?
Well,
to
they
work
had
on the
told
train?
him that he was going to have his job.
I don't know what the lawyers, I don't know what they did to my
If
father.
something messed up with the lawyers or whatever.
Then set it right. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what they did.
Yeah.
He lost.
So then you worked at the needle factory, and
Yeah, I was working in the factory. She
And
went,
then you worked at the rubber shop.
oh yeah, that's right, went to the shop. And you worked there too.
Yeah.
And my sister Lena. That's all.
now Ethel, you went to this, which schools did you go to?
I started at the Dean's School, I think 4 years there.
Yeah,
And then in 1928, when the Dean's School in here, the new school was built, and I finished there. And
With Louis went to that school too.
then after that I went to work. And I started, the first job I started at the rubber shop. And I
And
worked
what time you
there.
worked in Brunswick? Not long ago.
Oh yeah, the
Salt
salt
factory.
factory. For a little while.
So there's a lot of industry in New Brunswick then.
Yeah,
Oh, them days, everybody went.
Cigar factory and
yeah.
Yeah,
J&J.
Mm-hmm.
a lot of salt factory too.
And then I was married in when did I get married?
Well, you married about 47 years.
1950. Yeah, 1950.
Sal Scurato.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then my son was born 2 years after. And now I had the one child, Salvatore.
He teaches.
And he's a teacher now, Crossroad.
Now you got 2 grandchildren.
Yeah, granddaughter and grandson.
Her birthday's today. 9
Aw.
years old.
But you didn't tell about the
Michael's 13. Sal's son 19. 13. Oh, about who?
what else you said you had
Mr. Werner had a business. Dean's.
for the old post office. I mean, you don't want to.
Yes,
Yes,
sure.
yes. Anything you can remember at all. Doesn't matter.
The old post office
Lena
was
was,
the,
Hedlund. You heard
Lena?
about Lena
She
Hedlund?
was the postmaster.
Shoemaker. We had a,
And that closed up in October the 27th, 1963. And when did they open up here in Dean's? Says here since July the 11th, 1914.
Hmm.
And then Weber's was across the street. They had the gas station, and there was the Mrs. Weber, the mother. But she was an older woman. She was pumping gas when she was there. They
it
had
wasn't
gas
always
station.
an appliance store.
No, no, no.
Was it like the,
She had like a little candy and sold the newspapers, sold candy bars and stuff like that.
he used to fix watches.
Did he?
Yeah, we bought that
In
watch.
that
from
same
him.
place.
That's about 93 years old.
And it's still going.
Yeah.
It's a little problem now.
You have to pick that one up.
Yes.
Then the Weber's son took over, and his son, then the grandson, children. Now they're retired,
So that was 4 generations, or 5.
or three.
Old Lady
The-
Weber,
the old
George,
and
and
then
his son
Charlie
is
and
3.
Leonard
3.
worked together. Three generations. Yeah.
Oh, well then
Lenny.
Charlie's the,
Charlie's
son,
youngest, yeah.
And Leonard. Now they sold the business, so new people bought it. They say they're plumbers.
Hmm.
And Mr. Werner had a nice business in Dean's. He used to sell,
I know we're forgetting Lafayette what we were talking about. You had something.
and he used to sell oil,
Mhm.
corn, feed, and all kinds of stuff for the animals. And he used to carry all these heavy bags. My brother Nicky worked for him too, like wheat and corn and flour.
Do you remember the mill over?
Yeah, I heard about it, but I never remembered the mill.
Don't remember that.
Yeah, but they said he had a mill before.
That was the Werners, right?
It was the
Yeah.
first place.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then they moved over here to
He had 2
Dean's.
sons worked for him, Freddie and Henry.
Mhm.
The old man was a nice man. He helped a lot of people. He was very good. He used to come with sled, bring the stuff to people, with the corn, all that stuff for the animals. The son worked hard. My brother Nicky worked for him too. And
Your brothers.
yeah, my brother Nicky.
Do you remember the fire they had there? Probably in 1958 or 59? The big,
Dean's?
at Warner's Oil Company. I remember it was my first big fire that I had been, my father was a fire chief at the time, and he put me right next to an oil truck.
Yeah.
was- And he said, "You keep
remember
this
that.
thing cool, that's your job, and don't you leave there." And there was a blaze. It was
Yeah.
that was my biggest fire at that time, and I'll never forget, I was so scared.
I remember
I was
that.
next to an oil truck, and you could see the smoke coming off it, and he just told me to keep that truck cool,
Oh,
because it was
I
full of
didn't
fuel oil.
forgot. They were nice people, they were. He was very good to everybody.
This was the Dean's school that we went to. The old
That-
school.
And Dr. Carroll delivered all my mother's children.
And he came on horseback?
Yeah,
Right.
horse
And
buggy.
he lived where?
He lived in Dayton,
Mhm.
Dr. Carroll. He was
Whereabouts in Dayton?
Right next to the
shop.
church in Dayton there.
Uh-huh.
The big house. He had a big house. He was a very good doctor.
Still there.
Yeah, the church is there.
So many that did, no,
Is-
the house.
Oh, the house.
It was a
I'm not
house. He had a nice house. The wife was very nice.
here. I think Patterson, Kern, she lived in that house?
I don't know.
Well, the big house.
Right next to the church,
Yeah,
Yeah,
on the Dayton side.
yeah.
Yes, she lived there.
yeah.
They were very nice to, he used to help a lot of poor people, Dr. Carroll. He trusts everybody like if they got no money to pay a little bit at a time. One time when I was sick with pneumonia, his wife made custard. He brought it to me. It was so good. They were very good people. Very good to everybody. Also, but late at night, he used to come out. He used to come.
But I can remember Mother said he would come on horseback, and he delivered all the
All my
Pietrefesas?
mother's children, yeah.
And right here,
No, the old house. We all born in the old house.
now where was that?
But
Dean's
Dean's
Farm.
Farm.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back where
And-
Joe lived,
Yeah, yeah.
and young Joe has it
Yeah.
now.
Mhm.
We live all there.
And when
I was-
Lena,
I was going to my aunt's house. It was my sister Mary, Rosie, and Pat, and me. My aunt's house next door. See, we lived there with her before we built the house. And Jimmy was the first one lived in the house.
Now, who built this house?
this house,
Caruso.
Pardon?
Caruso.
Canuso, it was a contract
64
from
years
the
old in
Brunswick.
July.
In New Brunswick?
Yeah. So we lived here 64 years?
Yeah. And we lived there 6 months when my brother Johnny got killed. Just 6 months we lived there. And then,
Then you said you remember when the highway was,
oh yeah,
and you said the soldiers,
yeah, it was very bad, the road. The people get stuck with the wagon. The dirt was so heavy, like.
Do you
It's
remember,
really-
excuse me,
Yeah, I
do you
remember
remember
that
the church being built?
No.
St. Cecilia's, the old church, you remember when they built that?
They used to have the carnivals before.
Yeah, oh yeah, I remember the carnival, all that,
When
yeah,
before the church was built.
yeah. When the church was built, yeah.
The boys used to
I
work.
received my communion there too, confirmation.
And the boys used to always were helping out there
Oh
too.
yeah, my
You
father.
didn't have to go to
They did in all
Jamesburg to
the
do that?
Son of
No,
Houses.
no, it was Old Monmouth Junction.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
grandfather
that's
said they used to take a wagon and load the stones and
Yeah.
move them away
Yeah.
from where they're building the church and stuff.
Your
Yeah.
grandfather.
Your father, too,
Mhm.
yeah. And your grandmother had a nice business too in Monmouth Junction.
Mhm.
We used to walk there all the time, walk the
Mhm.
railroad track. What's
Good
that?
Costas ice cream.
She had a nice store.
Yes.
Now you were saying about the soldiers. I guess it was World War I. This used to be a main area that the soldiers used to come through, the trucks and everything.
This road,
Yeah.
trucks, everything.
Yeah.
It was the main road.
From
A
Philadelphia
lot
to
of trucks
New
was
York.
here. Oh, so many trucks here, it was terrible. See, my brother got killed right over here, right across from Moses.
Mhm.
That house next there
Mhm.
was thrown, when the car was thrown out.
Now, what about the highway? You said when the war at the time, the first
Oh,
war,
yeah, but
some of the
World War
soldiers.
One, I was a young girl, Dean School this was, and the wagons went by here, soldiers, they stopped right from that schoolhouse. I know what happened, they stopped, they went on. I know what they went to New York. I remember that time, the soldiers, World War One. My brother was in the war that time.
World War I?
Yeah, my sister Mary's husband. Well, he was a married then.
Brother-in-law.
Yeah. And then he was the one that wrecked, you know, the bad wreck we had, railroad track.
At our house.
He was in there, and that train going to work, and the train got in the wreck. Two trains hit together, head on.
Mhm.
Engine fell, hit the tunnel of Dean's Pond. The engine was halfway. The engineer got killed, and a lot of people got hurt.
It was a passenger train?
The passenger, I think it was a freight train, I think, hit him. There were
Oh, it was
together.
two trains.
Two trains. It was a bad accident that time. A lot of cars came around all over. Even my boss was out there. One time he said to me, well, it was a big wreck. I said, that's where I live. They didn't know it, you know. They all came out and see. I don't know if you remember that.
And that was before my time.
No.
But they used to have a pretty good station here in Dean's too.
Oh, yeah, it was a nice station.
Yeah, Dean's
Yeah,
Station.
a lot
Well,
of
this
people
is
traveled
across
there.
the street. The station was on the other side, and this was like on the other side. That when the train stopped on that side, and this side was where the ticket agent was on. Yeah.
Then Lena Himmler, she had a post office. The father was a shoemaker. He sells shoes and boots, all that, and he used to fix the shoes too. He was in business for a long time. That was Elsie Webb and Georgia Webber's
Uncle.
uncle, yeah, aunt and uncle. Was there. And she daughter used to be the postmaster. She was taking care of the mail. She had a long time that job.
Now, how old was the Dean store where Rodner's is now? How long do you
Oh,
remember?
Bakudas was the first one.
Bakudas had his
there,
store.
Well, but he had the store before we lived there. Well, it must be, we were 64 here. It must have been about 60 maybe.
Well, he used to come around with the wagon.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Deliver groceries.
He used to deliver with the
He
truck.
would take orders then.
He was the first one that had the store here. No, first he had in Dean's Lane. One of the,
I don't remember.
not far from the station.
Mhm.
He had a store there. Then he sold that, and then he moved here. Yeah, and the first house got burnt, and then the store. And the second house he built again. He had a nice store.
And then
Charlie Gambus had it second
I
time.
remember him.
Yeah, I remember that one too.
Oh,
I used to
yeah.
get candy and everything.
He used to make
I used to
everything.
date one of the Rule twins down here. I used to walk over here.
yeah, really, yeah.
Donnelly Rule.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah?
she used to make stuffed cabbage, all that stuff, potato salad, chicken. She used to do that in the store. She used to sell that.
Now
She
this
was
is going. Go ahead.
She graduated my sister in May.
Now, years ago, you forgot that.
What?
When by the railroad station, the saloon there,
Oh yeah,
what was it, Dykers or Baker? Dykers.
Dykers was first. Had a tavern.
This before.
Saloon?
yeah.
Yeah, tell us about
I
that.
think some
Yeah.
other things is what we
All
really.
the railroad men used to cash the checks there. Jack had a
Uh-oh.
town right near the station, but no more now, that house. It was a big, long house.
I
It was
think
a town.
Kearns then moved. I don't, no, you wouldn't remember.
No,
the
Kearns was later on.
I remember
Was
the
it?
Kerns visiting my grandparents from
Yeah.
New Brunswick. I believe they moved to New Brunswick.
Oh,
My
yeah.
father, yeah. They used to live in Deans. Kearns did before they moved there.
Who else were your neighbors? What other names? You mentioned some that you wanted.
Barrett's used to be in Dean's, right in this station there.
Dean's Lane?
Well, up at, you mean by the old house, but those names I don't think it.
What,
It was
like-
but the Coleys used to live next door to us, and then my
Well,
aunt
Focus and Blitzio's.
lived the other side of us. There was 3 houses only where we first lived.
and
Yeah,
Dean?
there was an old foundation. Next to John's house, if you're going towards Monmouth Junction, there was an old foundation with a chimney. That's all that's there now. That was somebody's house there.
But the Coleys.
What's the code?
Okay.
That's what the,
That's where the train, I think the accident,
Yeah.
part of the wreck landed
yeah,
there.
they some people there at that
Yeah,
house too.
because they already moved to New York. They were living there then. You know, when that train wreck happened.
Yeah.
The people on Dean's Lane, those old homes, most of them were railroad people.
Mr. Vara, he was
Mr.
the
Vara?
railroad crossing
Yeah.
at the
And there was a
When
train
Dean's-
wreck. An engineer got killed. The truck hit the train hit the truck. Of course, my brother Nicky and Jack Kern helped went near there too.
So that wasn't always an underpass then. That was just a regular
No,
road.
Of course,
that
was
was over the
they
tracks.
had the what do you call it, the
The crossing gate.
And
Yes.
Mr. Vara was one of the crossing.
I don't know if it's the
Guards.
gate and go down right or what, but the truck came along and train hit the truck.
Do you remember who was there before Mr. Vara? Or was he always there?
He was always there. I remember. That was bad too. The fella truck engineer got killed too, I think.
The Mourners had their
Truck.
business, the oil business
Right,
and
mhm.
coal business.
Yeah.
And Schaub's home, that was always there,
Who?
or where Les Schaub lived.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that
Oh,
yeah,
Schraub, yeah.
Morels. They were the first ones.
Morels, okay.
Yeah.
And then he built a
father
lot of
was-
houses around Dean's here. in
He's the one
Morel.
built the old house. Morel and Frank Messina.
Was that Ace Morel? There was an Ace Morel I remember lived in Monmouth Junction. It might have been a brother or something.
No, I don't think it was that. Well, the old Morel. I don't know what was his name.
Name
The father, Mr. Morel.
Jim Morel.
Jim Morel. Then he had a son Arthur.
He was in the service. We got a picture of
When
Arthur
Louis,
Louis.
when Louis was in
Yeah, we got a
service
picture of him,
in this war.
Arthur. That was bad too at that time, that crossing. It was very dangerous.
Freeway.
Then they built a tunnel.
Now Dyke has also had the saloon
Oh yeah,
by the
yeah,
our old house
station,
here.
by the station.
Yeah, Deeds. But
Yeah.
what was over there by Dykers?
Mr. Baker had the farm there, Mr. Baker. He had a big farm, 90 acres of land. We used to work for him too. We used to help him out. All my brothers and sisters. We used to husk corn and pick potatoes. I used to help to can stuff for her in the kitchen. She used to can a lot of stuff. She had a lot of vegetables. He used to go horse and buggy in Brunswick, sell the stuff. He did every week. He used to sell the chicken and eggs and butter, cheese, all that.
Any other farmers that you remember around here beside Mr. Baker?
Mr. Walters had
Oh,
the
yeah, Mr.
Oh,
Walters.
yes.
farm there.
That's where
Springfield Farm.
my
Well,
house in
Louis
the Mosers
lived-
is now, I think.
Right,
That's
it's
where
over.
my house in the Mosers is?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was all Walters.
Right.
There was no house here before. It was all open field. And Louis lived first, he bought property near Reitmeyer's, across from Reitmeyer's.
Mm-hmm.
He sold
Oh,
that property, then he bought Walters, then he lived there.
But years ago, that was a little store there, candy
Yeah, little
store,
store.
across from Wright Myers.
And Mr. Reitmeyer was a doctor. He
Right.
used to travel the station too. He used to go, he worked in Newark.
He was a
He
dentist
was a nice
Mhm.
man too.
every morning. Used to take the train.
He had a store there too, they say, Reitmeyer's. His family, somebody, had a store.
And that would make Jean Dvorak.
Oh yeah, what
That would make
yeah.
Jean Dvorak
Tambanya.
Tom
a
Bunyan.
relative.
Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
And
was,
Great-great-grandfather or something?
yeah, some kind of, must be.
Because Ruth Reitmeyer taught me in Monmouth Junction School.
Well, she was related with the Dvoraks.
Divorce.
She married. Wait a minute.
Yes, Ruth Reitmeyer, Jean is their daughter.
Reitmeyer had two nieces. Married one to Tom's aunt or something, uncles.
Bunyan. And it was Bunyak, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was.
Tom Bunyak used to play ball.
He got
Yeah.
killed.
Yes.
Mm.
It was sad about him too, he got killed. A lot of boys got killed. One on the highway
Yes,
here
my
too.
mother had the largest family. 13.
Mm.
Oh, she already told you.
Well, everybody had 10 children, then my mother had 14. 3, 4 more. Grandmother had about 10, I guess.
5 boys and
Yeah,
Three-
your grandma.
Three girls
three
or
girls?
2 girls?
3 girls at least.
5
'cause
boys.
5 boys and 3 girls, 8, yeah.
Yeah, I remember Nick was Brunswick ticketed yours.
Hmm.
More than the Scuratos?
No, the Scuratos had a lot of boys too, right?
Oh, yeah,
They
8
had
boys. 8 boys.
8 boys and
3 girls.
3 girls. Ida, Teresa,
Yeah.
Maggie.
Any
They
memories
had
you
to-
want to share with the Scuratos?
They had 11 children.
Any memories that you want to share with the Scuratos?
How'd you meet your husband?
Oh, that's what I
At a
was.
baseball game.
No. I started.
Did you?
Oh, Tony's secret.
You the matchmaker?
Oh, this is funny. Oh, I don't want to tell.
All right, go ahead if you, it's up to you.
And when did they start the garage? When did your family get into business?
1932.
We built the house first, and then after the garage.
Oh, that's
It
right.
was-
You never said nothing about
It was a couple months later, I think. I don't know what it was. The house first, then the garage.
And who started that business? Did
My
Rupp-
father
oh,
had it for the boys because Dutch was working, I think, for Spulders that time,
Yeah.
wasn't it? And
Mechanic.
so then Joe was doing mechanic work and Nicky and
My
all.
father said, well, I might build a garage for you, boys. You just want that kind of job, and he built the garage for them.
And that's how it all started. Dutch started, you know,
Mhm.
his first
Dutch
in
went to
there.
vacation school. Was the 4th year. He's supposed to finish another 6 months. He didn't. And this guy, I know he's a mechanic. He had a business in Brunswick. He said, Dutch, you work with me. You learn more with me than when you finish graduate. And he stick with that guy, and then after that, he went in business.
I remember seeing some of the old pictures of the old state police on motorcycles and at the garage and
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Then he drove the school bus. He had 2 school buses.
I remember that, yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Dutch had a truck too. I know something with the truck too. He had something with the truck at that time.
There was this old chapel here. He
Oh
did,
yeah, Dean's.
Where the door,
Right.
so that is there.
Yeah, it was
Oh.
a chapel.
That building's
I
still
didn't know.
there.
But
The
they made a
big
house out
town.
of it.
the
The house
remodel of it.
alongside of it.
Then Ericans had a business too. Ice cream.
Erickson. Erickson.
Erickson. Mom used to live in Dayton. He had a store here, next to the.
Oh, but years ago, you said there was a bakery shop over there.
Oh yeah, baker shop.
When you was a kid.
Yeah. Was
Who
a
owned
name.
that?
I know the name. There was a German people had a business.
Was it
baker
the
shop.
same one that was in Monmouth Junction?
I don't think
I
so.
don't know. No, it was
You
young.
mean Tony Manzo?
No.
No, it wasn't.
When my father was born, the day he was born, there was a house right next to him that they had a bakery. They opened that bakery the same day. That was the story he related to me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So I don't know.
Maybe
In the
it
Van
was, I don't-
Sice's house,
I know it was a baker
Pardon?
shop.
where the Van Sices had the garage,
Where's the Van Sice?
it was right next to my father's bar. It was my
Oh.
father's bar, then the Van Sice, and across the street was Paul Stewart with his garage. There were 2 garages when I was a kid. But years before that, that was a bakery.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, no, I didn't know that.
Did
They
you ever
were-
go to the movies in Monmouth Junction?
Yeah, that was.
Next to Stewart's, the Stewart's home, across from
From the
the
bar?
bar.
The movie, Mama
It was a
Johnson?
movie, yeah.
It was. I've forgotten now.
It just reminds you of how little you knew about Dean's and how
Mhm.
little you knew about Dayton and how little,
Yeah.
when you grew up here. You
Mhm.
just didn't,
We used to walk
Do-
Mama Jackson a lot. Let's go to Evans. Evans had the
Uh-huh.
store,
Mhm.
and they used to deliver Vic Evans.
Yeah, he used to come around.
They used to
do it.
come and order their stuff, and they used to deliver next day.
Now, did you get your milk from Uncle Ed Brabson, or did you get your milk from
Yeah,
Walters?
Mr.
Oh
Brad,
yeah, that's
yeah.
right.
Mhm.
Where the IBM,
Yeah.
that was
Then we
his
took
farm?
milk, Welch. Delivered at Welch. Delivered the milk. Georgie Walter.
Uh-huh.
That's right, Georgie Walter. Yeah, he was a nice guy. He died heart attack. And her husband was there that night when he got a heart attack. Really, I don't know where it was. When Sal come home, he said, guess who died? I said, who? George Walter. I said, oh my God, nice fellow.
Was his father a judge? Was there a Walter?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Walter.
yeah, yeah.
What about Mr. Overman? There's the old guy.
Who?
He was
Overmans.
Judge Overman's.
Overman's, yes.
He was the, well, I don't
You know
even
what,
remember
Dr. Davis, I mean, what's his name?
Dr. Davies has his house there, right.
Yes.
Mhm.
that. Yeah.
Right.
Well, he
Owens
was,
had that.
I don't know if I was
And
born.
where would they have court?
I guess his house.
At Mr.
George.
Walter's house?
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Well, that was at,
But Mr. Excuse me. Mr. Overman, didn't you say he had the,
He was a judge
he had
too.
his house too?
Yeah, he was a judge, the old man.
He was before Mr. Walters.
and
Yeah.
George Speldator was a judge.
Yeah, George and his
Yeah.
brother Frank.
Frank
I
was
forgot
too?
about
Yeah.
Yeah, Owens
over on
owned-
the highway.
He owned all that property, Owens did, and they sold the development here now.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
They had that place. I think they named the street Owens House.
Orban Drive, I believe, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. They had pheasant. My brother Alfred.
I remember that.
Oh, I remember the pheasants
Yes,
too.
yes.
I remember the year they all got out. They were all over town.
Yeah, somebody
that?
did it.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody opened the gate.
Yeah.
They said they opened the gate.
And his chrysanthemums, I remember that, when he raised
I
them.
forgot
Yeah.
about that, but the pheasants.
They were beautiful pheasants.
Oh, my brother had that. Oh, they were nice. Well, he worked hard though. Yeah, he was selling them too. He had to kill them and all that and sell them.
Didn't he also raise capons, chickens?
Yeah, not too
Yeah.
many, they were not too long,
But
whatever.
Owens had it first, the pheasants. Then he asked my brother-in-law if he wants.
Well, Ollie and Evie used
Yeah.
to have the
Yeah.
pheasants.
He even had pheasants down his house on Dean's Lane.
Dean's Lane.
Oh,
Later
yeah,
on,
that's right,
yeah,
right,
right,
yeah.
yeah.
And then after he,
Uncle Dwayne wasn't here. I'll
Yeah.
tell you.
Yeah, oh yeah, we'll catch him. We're gonna have to meet him again. That's all. We'll have to see your older sister and
yeah.
I'll.
She, Alfred was the,
Too bad I hadn't missed this.
the
He had to go
township
to
cop
doctor.
too.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I remember that.
And then Sue had to go there with more things to say.
Well, she used to always talk of the past like a lot to them all, and they like already know some of the things that she's saying, and some of the things I were forgetting about.
So you have a reputation.
Huh?
You have a reputation.
Yeah.
Because it was Sue, evidently,
Right, my wife
Butch's wife.
Yeah.
said you remember so much of the old things that
Yeah.
we should talk to you.
Well,
Well,
your
that's
wife,
what Janice, when her father died,
Yes,
and she's at the mass, she
Yeah.
said that. Ask Aunt Fanny, she knows.
she knows.
your wife came in that night. Louis was in the hospital that time. I didn't know it was your wife. I know. I opened the door. I was talking on the phone. I know my niece called up and she was talking to me. And that minute I didn't know who she was. You know.
Mhm.
Then Janice came and she was talking to your wife. Then I said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know it was you right away." That minute I didn't know who it was. You know, with your daughter.
Mhm.
I felt so bad afterwards, you know. She said, "No, don't worry about it." I was talking on the phone, and I knocked the door. I seen the woman. I said, couldn't remember who she was, you know, because I don't see her often, you
Right.
know.
Mhm.
Felt bad then. I said,
Can you remember when the bar that's across from Crossroads, do you know how old, do you remember how old that may be?
a bar.
It used to be
Bosman?
Reggie's bar.
Bosman?
It was who had it before Reggie?
Yeah, I remember there was a tavern.
But years ago, Mr. Bosman,
Yes,
uh,
I forgot his
that was his
name.
name.
There was a tavern,
was
yeah.
an old man. But then Harry Gilder
Yeah,
had it
Gilbert too.
Right.
once.
Right across from Betty Wayne, I think. He had a business across the street.
Yeah, over that side of the street.
Yeah, Betty, you know that.
There was some kind of building there that
They
Harry
moved
Gilder.
that house.
Then he moved to
That house.
James.
That was Stroller Brothers. Brothers. They used to sell glasses and straws
Yeah,
and
they were over
coasters.
here.
Abe
Yeah.
Dobin.
Abe Dobin,
and,
yes.
Mm-hmm.
My father used to buy supplies for the bar there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's why I know about it.
Uh-huh.
That's where Pinner's door,
Yeah, right.
and now somebody else has bought it. Now,
Now, there's a
gonna be-
sign on it, it's Pierre's Bakery.
Yeah, they said
Have a
he's going to
bakery.
open a, right?
about time we get a bakery back, right?
Yeah, we need one. Yeah.
What was in Gilden's house?
Gil? Oh, Gil's had a store here where Mr. Shuey used to live at that house.
Right in the corner here.
I
Mhm,
know
It's the big yellow house.
Yeah, yeah. There was a, before, it was Shuey's that lived the other place, the farm.
But when you was a little kid, there was no post
Gilden's.
office there, was it?
It was a post office too, Gil's had that. It It's across the
then,
49.
That was Gillen's?
Gillen's.
Never heard that?
You remember it? No. You had a
They
store.
had that house on the corner. They were the
Yeah.
first people
That
there.
was the Shorts place. It's a Shorts now.
When did we have township committee people here? Do you remember what the politics was like? What it was
Mr. Shue.
like? Yeah, but he was a tax collector. Like even before, is that when it was all organized, to have a township committee, to have a governing body, or?
I don't know none of that.
Mr. Cox was the tax collector years ago, remember that?
And did he live in the township, or was he
In
from?
fact, they even got the old bills from the old house.
I don't know where he lived. I don't think he lived in. I don't know where he lived.
Everybody's telling me, why are you keeping all this stuff? Why are you keeping piling up?
I
It's
can
true.
remember when we used to go pay Mr. Shue taxes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it was right close to us.
Yeah.
He
But
lived
the
there.
Cox was up in Dayton before Mr. Shue.
He was
had.
nice, Mr. Shue.
You
He was
remember
a
Mr.
nice.
Cox?
No, I don't remember
He
that.
was a good tax collector,
And
Mr.
something
Shue.
went
He was
wrong
very
there.
nice.
I
He used to
can't
come.
remember just the
He used to
whole
come here every
story.
night to play cards with my father. He used to always come play cards. Him and my father used to talk and have a conversation, different things, you know. He used to come every night. Them days all gone. Mary Shue, Usher Swore, Agnes, Johnny Shue.
The Bakers?
Yeah, George
Bakers.
Baker down the road. Well, we were in two,
They
you
used to
know.
play cards
Where
every
was
Saturday
the
night.
oldest Baker home? Was that here in Dean's? or-
Yes, we're near the crossroad,
With the nurse.
with the nursery.
Okay.
They
or-
tore that building down now, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And there was a
was
milk
a house,
farm. He had milk, so
Yeah, he was.
he had cows there.
Yeah,
But
across
did
the
they
street.
sell their milk or what?
He must, because he had a lot of cows. He used to bring the across the
Because he
street.
had the what do they call
Before the
it? Where they
factories
put
were
the
built.
cows in the.
So it was Bill and George.
But
And-
Raymond was the only one who took
Used to
care of
be
that,
Ernie.
wasn't it?
Ernie, George,
I remember.
Bill, another one, I forgot his other name. He used to drive the bus too. We had Hightstown bus, used to deliver here.
Yes.
Oh, yeah?
Nice bus service.
Hmm.
Yeah, the Hightstown,
I
and then
forgot about
also
that.
the Quaker
I
City
used to
bus.
climb on the-
Remember it
I used to
in New
travel-
York?
The bus.
And then we had the Greyhound bus station.
I remember the Greyhound bus station out on Route 1.
That was my,
Yeah, that was
that was my nephew's wife's in-laws.
Was that Frolings or something like that? Or what was the name of it? There was like a swimming pool up there too.
Yeah, Frolin.
Oh, that's the other. Oh, the
That's
other
down
way.
further.
But the
Up by the
bus-
flag post, where the flag
Right.
post
Oh,
is.
maybe they were over there first.
Huh?
Was the Greyhound bus station over by Frolin's first?
I remember that.
But I think when Kershaw bought it, he had the business over here,
Yes, it was.
where the
That's my niece's in-laws.
by the lights.
Mhm.
that-
It might have just stopped down the other place too. You know, it might have been just a stop down the other place.
Yeah.
My brother Pat, son's in-laws, his son-in-laws used to run that business.
There was a Greyhound bus
Yeah.
station to New York.
Hershey. It was, that was. She lives in Pennsylvania. My nephew died, Vincent, you know. He was to see my brother Louis 2 days after he died.
Yes,
Had a heart
yes.
attack.
Mm-hmm.
He was over there at the funeral. Everybody was talking to him. Everybody couldn't get over it. Because he saw a lot of people that didn't see for a long time. Because he graduated high school in Jamesburg.
Is
Very
this being
shy.
all taped?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
All this is you're saying is good. They don't.
Yeah, that's fine. No, but it tells all the
Well, he
history.
said he wanted to know
Yeah,
everything,
everything.
right?
Anything you can think of that's important to you.
I thought she was
Right.
going to.
Well, I don't know. It's the same thing with the
Were
family.
there any Baker girls?
Yeah, Marie, Deacon.
Yeah.
What's her name? Marie.
But,
Judy's mother,
no, her name was,
the one that died.
what was her name? I forgot her name now. She was a Baker girl. You mean Rita Baker too? You talk about her?
Well, that was, Loretta's mother
It's
was
the
Amanda.
Mary-
Was it Amanda?
She used to go with that Crawford fella.
Mhm.
Rita.
Warren Crawford.
Rita. What's her name? Rita?
Loretta.
Loretta.
Loretta,
Yeah.
yeah.
She was going with
Yeah.
Warren Crawford.
She graduated same time my brother Louis. We always go picture them with walking the aisle there. And the walls. Oh, Mamie Baker, her name was Mamie. Yeah.
But that's Judy's mother.
Yeah, Judy's mother. Judy Baker, she's a
Her
Baker.
mother, what's her mother's name? Marie?
Mamie.
Mamie? Well, she was a sister to George Baker
Oh, yeah.
and Raymond Baker. She was
She
the only
only-
sister.
Yeah, one sister. There was 5 boys. I don't think the
She
other
lives in
fellas were.
Florida now.
Yeah. George, Bill, Ernie, Raymond. What was he? Ed or what? I don't know his name. I forgot him. Or William. No, Bill. It was built.
Now, this old road here was the main road between New York and Florida
Oh, yeah.
before Route 1 was built, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was the main road.
Florida, what?
Yeah, it went to Florida.
That's right,
yeah.
that's right.
Mhm.
This
That's
was-
what Lou and Dutch told me, that, you know, that this was the main road from,
Oh, yeah, it was a busy
you
road.
know,
This was a busy
to
road.
Florida, yeah.
My brother used to get a lot
We
of...
used to have all those big trucks coming through here.
I think I remember when they, during World War II, when
Yeah.
George was, and Jimmy were stationed in Florida, I think they used to come up 130.
One time they said, they talked about, I never, they said that this field, all this field was a soldier, was stopped the camp, you know,
The camp?
like a camp for the boys.
Mhm.
That's what I heard. But I don't know.
To rest
I
probably,
wasn't
yeah.
born then.
Because there was no houses, nothing
Right.
here.
And then across the street
Only
too,
the corner.
they say was somebody there too. Their land too, stopped there too, across the street.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't born, maybe, I don't know what they were saying.
Did Tom Smith always live in the corner house here?
Yeah, Tom Smith. Bill Baker born in that house. But George told my sister Rosie, he said, you know, my brother Bill lived in this house. That house must be over 100 years old.
Now, which house is that?
At the
By
The
corner.
Weber's.
corner there.
The yellow house there in the
Yeah,
corner.
house, yeah.
They fixed it up.
I imagine Weber's still.
Well,
must
Weber's
be
old house too. Lena Himmler's house was old. They knocked it down. There was two other houses too. Small house. They knocked it down too in Dean's Lane, next to the post office.
Yeah, there was a foundation there for a long time, I think.
Yeah.
Just an old foundation,
yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
My mother, we lived there too one time. My
Oh, yeah?
mother. I wasn't born there. My brother, when she came from Europe, I think she lived there first, before she moved to my aunt's house. We lived there long, Dean's. Yeah, I lived all my life in Dean's.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you want to go through some of the pictures? You want to,
Just one more question.
sure.
Did you walk to church, St. Cecilia's,
Oh
from
yeah,
here?
we used to walk.
On the along the railroad
Along the
tracks, from
railroad.
the old house.
Yeah.
No, the old.
First car we got was a Ford. My brother Pat, he drove the car. It was a nice Ford. It was nice.
I remember
Nice
when you-
car, first car.
So that's how you got to know people too.
Yeah, right.
Oh, it was a lot of fun years ago. A lot
Yeah, I
of people
remember.
got together. Oh,
Dinners.
Yeah.
Have the dinners.
It's like now, nobody knows nobody.
And what happened? Used to happen in the church years ago.
The old house, we had a good time. We had a lot of people come over. We had city from the...
Well, families always got together, it seemed, on Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
The
And you
church,
better be there or have a good excuse.
our church had a lot of carnivals. They used to have bingos and different things we had.
yeah, remember the bingos down in the basement?
We call it
Father Sullivan always had the carnivals.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Father Madura, remember he had the bingos,
Oh,
and then he went
yeah.
in service.
He,
Yeah.
I even got a picture of him. He christened Patty, my nephew Patty.
We had a lot of nice carnivals we used to have. Beautiful.
Oh, he married Lena too, didn't he? Father Madura.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it was nice. But another, what's the other priest? The one is the governor.
Oh, Father Hughes.
Father
He was nice.
Yeah, he married us.
He
Yeah.
married my sister Lena. No, not Lena. My sister, I think Barbara, Mary.
Sue
Oh, Sue. Yes.
and Fred.
Yeah. Oh, Father Sullivan married
We're
my
getting
sister
low on
Mary.
film, so if you
Okay.
want to get those pictures.
All right.
Okay. All right, I'm going to stop the camera for a few seconds, and then we're going to set.
Right.
Didn't you tell about the clock, Mr. Watch the.
This is the clock that you got from
George Weber.
George
Not
Weber.
George.
Oh, the father was, I don't know what his
Mr.
father's
Webb.
name.
Well, the
I don't know what's his father's name.
And he made this?
he had it. He was selling it. I mean, they had them in the store, I guess. There,
Oh, okay.
And he sold it. And that was what year? You don't remember? Before when Patsy was born.
I think it's about 93 years old.
Wow.
93.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask a question first.
Go ahead, you're on.
This is the confirmation class with the sponsors and that's when I got confirmed. That's when my brother Louis got confirmed. And who else? That's my sponsor. And that Johnny Shoe was. Where's Johnny Shoe?
Nicky was for Johnny Shoe.
That's Louis Sergey. Louis Sergey was for Louis.
It was for Agnes.
Were you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And my brother Nicky was for Johnny. And then My cousin there, Lucy, was for me. And Louis Circuit was for Louis. That's my oldest sister and her husband. And what do you want me to go on telling
Yeah,
who
go
they
ahead. You can go through the next pages and, you know.
Mr. and Mrs. Baker, Maria Salton,
That's
and
George Baker's
Fannie,
uncle.
Rose, Sister Rosie, my brother Tony, my sister Mary, and her husband Jack Asalta, a wedding picture, and my sister-in-law Nellie with my sister Mary's baby. But these are people from Pennsylvania. I don't think I'll.
There's a Rhines family. No, is it? No.
That's Jean Ryan,
Yeah.
Patsy, Mr. Ryan, John Ryan, and Papa. Want me to give his name or just say, what do I do? And this is some friends here. My mother, sister-in-law, another sister-in-law, and the next door neighbor, another sister-in-law, and me.
Your brothers were in the hunting club, is that with a hunting
Yeah.
dog?
Yeah, mm-hmm.
How old was the hunting club?
It was a good dog too.
Oh,
It was
I think I had it right here. When did they start the hunting club? It's quite a
quite a
while.
while. I don't
Okay,
know.
well, we'll get that later.
Yeah, that's Fanny, with her neighbor, who was a godmother for her. And
Was
that's
that
her
Agnes?
sister-in-law.
Oh, no, you were,
Agnes is Sister Mary.
that's Agnes' sister Mary?
Wait a minute. No. That's
Who's
but the Coles.
Oh, what to call it? Mary.
Yeah, Mary, yeah, that's but our neighbors. It's not related to Agnes now, no.
No, no.
And that's my sister Lena, my sister-in-law Nellie and Mary. And that's my oldest sister Mary and John, and two brothers, sister-in-law, sister, and my brother-in-law, my sister Mary. And these are the old-time people. Neighbors, the Dykers. This was Anna Dyker's sister's
Channel
son
7 News coming in here.
and
That's right.
Channel 7.
daughter, and that was me.
Too bad you're coming sooner.
This is where my brother-in-law
Get
fell
that
off the
right
tunnel,
Mm-hmm.
and when he fell off the tunnel, he had his head hurt
It's our old Ford.
in one of the
It's all
trucks.
good, boys.
It said Fred's when he was christened, and then this is the rest of the babies that were born after him, and that was my brother Joe's daughter, my brother Pat's son, and my brother Jimmy's daughter.
A lot of babies.
Oh, yeah, it was a lot of
They
babies.
were all in the same year,
Age,
wasn't it?
yeah.
I think that time. Oh no, when you,
Different months.
they
like
were
that.
older. That's right.
They were the same age, like.
Yeah, my mother and my aunt. Oh, you do? Yeah.
That's my sister Mary's baby,
Church.
too.
Oh, right.
He was 16 months old when he died.
That was Barbara, my niece.
You remember my niece
That's
Barbara?
my nephew and
Yes,
my
yes.
cousin.
Beautiful
she-
girl.
Did you want me to say all the names or everything? Or just
Well, but
put-
just-
push-
She died.
some of these here that,
I guess mostly just of the people that were living around here, I
Yeah,
guess.
you're-
yeah. That's the same picture we had
This
before.
is-
My mother and her sister. She's from New
New
York,
York.
but she's died too.
She had 9 children.
And they're here again, and my sister. And this is Dan, I guess you can't even see it. It's Dan Kern, Brother Nicky, and Brother Johnny. And that's my brother Jimmy, and his wife and her sister.
Do you
and
remember
my
Jack
cousin.
Kern? You know him? Jack Kern?
I just remember Tom Kern that played ball with my brothers.
Oh,
I don't remember.
Some of these are almost the same ones.
there were 6 boys, Kerns. They lived in Monmouth Junction one time.
Tom and Ned.
That's Mr. Shue's brother Fred from New York, and my brother Nicky and my brother-in-law Babe. He's taken out in front of the girl. My mother and father, And that's my oldest brother Tony, my niece Barbara, my oldest sister Mary, and Pat, Rosie, Fannie. And Jimmy and Dutch's picture, we had to use it for some, when my brother Jimmy retired from his factory, they wanted a picture, so those pictures are gone. And that's my brother Joe, brother Johnny, and Lena's picture's gone. No, Nikki and Lena, that's me, and that's my brother Louie.
That's Louie.
Mm-hmm.
They bought
That's
a
when
car.
we lived up at the old house.
Yeah, they bought him a little car.
Mm.
And that's the school picture. Excuse me. That's Miss Bowman.
Oh, I forgot. She
She was a teacher.
Oh, that was.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about our teachers, huh?
Yeah, I forgot about her.
She lived in Dean's.
You're entitled to forget.
She was my teacher, her teacher, I mean.
My brother Joe, my brother Johnny, me, brother Louie.
That's when I got killed, Johnny.
Louie. And
That's
Miss
Barbara
Barb,
when she was a baby, a little girl. Barbara.
Janice and Patricia. These are the nieces now. And
She got 2 grandchildren. She don't know
Nephews.
it. I mean, 2 grandchildren.
Did you tell Sal we were coming?
Yep, Sal knew.
Oh,
you know, yeah.
I told him.
Oh, you told me that.
Yes. I said, Sister wants to go, Tony said wants to go come visit
That's
us.
your mom, right?
Yeah, here. And that's grandchildren. Joni, Vincent, Fred, and Patty.
He's gonna have a play end of this month
Sal?
at school, yeah.
It's his 3rd year already.
Wow.
My mother and father, and the calf, and that's Fred. My mother and father, and that's Barbara. This is Aliosh.
This book is about
And
70 years old, this book is, I think.
Now, did Ollie live around here?
Yeah, they lived in Dean's Lane. Lena, my mother. That's Allie too.
So my sister Mary's dead about 70 years. Charlie Weber and my nephew, the one that died, was the same age, I think. They were the same age.
This is like 7 o'clock in the morning at the old house.
Yeah.
They're going, Fanny's going to work and Johnny was going to vocational school, going to get the 7 o'clock train.
Yeah.
Come and walk up to Jean's here.
I used to walk that railroad track every day.
That's Fanny.
It was very dangerous too. We took some chance, we did.
Oh, those trains used to really fly through here.
We had to go way down the bank before. My brother Tony got hurt from a cold from a train.
This is some of the old timers, my aunts and Mr. and Mrs. Baker and my mother and uncle.
Hang the washout to dry, and the
Yeah,
cinders,
inside.
they'd come, the trains would come through, and steam
Yeah.
engines would make them all dirty.
And then my mother had a big wash. They said to Miss Pietrefesa, all the clothes you got. We had a big line of clothes.
This is the
All
rubber
by
shop.
hand. No
gang
wash machine.
When we worked up at the rubber shop.
Is that building still there?
But
Yeah,
it's
I
rubber-
don't know why they don't knock it down. It's a mess up
I
there.
worked that place, boy. There was a lot of dirty places. But once the son got killed in there, there was an explosion. Was it the vulcanizer exploded? I wasn't working then. I was retired then.
That's my brother Johnny that got killed, and that's Morgan Bafuka. That's my cousin was next door neighbor. And this is a group of the family too. My mother and father. Oh, they picked the vegetables from the garden. They're coming up the
We
hill.
made a big
there.
garden. My father made a big garden. Her husband did too.
My brother Joe was on the shimmy shaker. A couple
Oh,
of these
yeah.
guys that he worked with.
I used to hear that. You heard
Yeah,
that,
that
didn't
was
you?
Oh, the shimmy shaker was the only thing that used to wake me up. The only train that went by to
Yeah,
wake
it
you
used
up.
to be by our house.
The
too.
work train.
And he used to come home so black, his clothes, because all the
That's
dirt.
it.
Oh,
And this is the Dean's post office.
And this
Yeah.
was the, well, the father used to be he was the postmaster, and then she took over.
she was the a shoemaker.
Repairman.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Sell shoes, boots, and
repaired clocks?
Yeah, pair of the shoes. What's up with the Nicky?
This is Louis Trafficante, my brother Patsy, Les Swab, Vincent, Sam Kuhn, and Al Oceaner.
Up with the Nicky.
Yeah, and that's
Dutch?
Brother Joe at the old house, sitting on the porch telling the story about the
I've seen
deers.
that before.
Deer that got away, right?
And Nicky, Dutch, Alta Befuga. I think I said that already, didn't I? And Joe.
Did you do that?
Which the old.
That's a no.
Yeah, this was the station. The ticket agent was on the other side of the railroad track, and this was on the other side.
Well, there's a good picture of Nicky and Dutch. Joe, huh? Look at Joe. I always picture I used to sit like that. I can't believe the old gone, though.
Old schoolhouse.
I can't believe it. And I said, oh, the old gone, I can't understand.
And that's the old schoolhouse in Deans.
Deans, yeah.
Every
Now they
damn
made a
thing.
house into. This is, I think, towards the back, and that's the
You
side.
didn't go there though, Ethel, did you?
I did.
Did you?
4 years on them. Then I came over here. She went all through the.
Dean School, yeah.
Oh,
And then I
Dean
went to
School.
Dean for 2 years.
I don't know if there's anything else here.
We had